It's mornings with Hal in the mornings with Hal. It's not quite a theme song, but we're working on it. And when I'm here, I just gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah. And then we switch to this shot, and then I'll just let everybody join in. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hello. Morning show was a little late today because when I'm in LA and I haven't been here for a little while, I keep forgetting that no one updates the computer. God knows if this audio is even tolerable, if you can hear a word I'm saying. I do see a meter making movements when I speak, but that's not any guarantee, is it? Now is it? Hi, everybody. There you are. Yay. Good morning. Sorry if I'm a little behind today, but literally the computer would just not start up. It was just kind of frozen, I guess. It's chilly here. It's very chilly here in sunny California. There's been raining a bunch. Rained when I drove through the pass coming over. Took me an extra couple of, let's see. That mic seems very high. Let's bring this down a touch so that it's not spiky, and then bring it up a touch elsewhere, because that seemed a little much. It was frying up the business. Hello, check. There we go. That seems better. So, hi, good morning, Tom. Hey, Aaron. CSL, good to see you. Morning. How are you? It was Ginger and Britt and Mark. It was so great to see you guys at the show last night. It was lovely. Mark, I had no idea how far you had driven. I'm shocked and honored. But, I mean, come on. And I'm looking forward to the weekend shows. This has been by the end of it, will be one of my biggest travel weeks that wasn't around the holidays in 2 years. Because I'm in here today. I've got Nerd Halen rehearsals tonight. Afternoon show maybe get pushed a little bit. Hopefully, timing-wise, I should be all right. Might be 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, just because of the nature of getting around LA is another factor. Oh, thanks, Mark. Good to see you, man. And then Nerd Halen rehearsal, and then I gotta get in the car, drive back, and then tomorrow I have Nerd Halen is doing a podcast. We're a guest on a podcast, so I'm doing that from the house, doing the regular show, and then flying out to San Francisco. Or I might do my morning show and then fly to San Francisco. It's still not quite sure. It depends on if I have radio Friday morning. That's the question. Still waiting to hear on that. And then I'll be there Friday, Saturday doing shows, and then I come back Sunday. And it's just it feels like a month after you get used to being around, So it's very strange. How it looks like me with second day hair. Yes, I definitely have second day hair. This is true. This is the morning. I tried to, it was a little matted on this side. I tried to do a little fluffing just out of respect for you guys. But here I am. And yeah. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, it was a good time last night. I ended up opening the show with Back in the Saddle Again by Aerosmith. Did a tribute to all the folks we'd lost by this guy Sven Martin, who's great, played piano while I read out the names of people who had passed over the last 2 years. And then I did Unchained, and Doug Pinnick was supposed to do Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy, and he couldn't make it. So and so, because I think his roommate's sick, and he wanted to be careful, which makes total sense. And I ended up Jailbreak's one of those songs where you're sure you know it until you try to know it. You're like, oh wait, that's what they're saying. Okay, so managed to get through it, and it was great. And the nice thing was just doing that voice was really fun. Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak somewhere in this town. Just whipping out my Phil Lynott voice. It was really good. And it was a lot of fun. And then we ended with Keep on Rockin' in the Free World. And then interspersed throughout, there was a lot of great music and people like kind of coming back, to live performance for the first time in a little bit. It was fascinating to watch everybody kind of dust off, the last couple of years. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. So, anyways, I like. Whew. So it's nice to be here. I'm sorry if I'm a little tired. We got done at 2:00 in the morning, and then I get up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay on schedule. I'll get out here, and then I get out here at 8:00 to set up the show, and the computer won't even start. Like the little circle of death, little spiral of death, not the beach ball, but the little kind of fring. Yeah, that wasn't even turning. It was just click, and I was like, okay. Hard restart, second hard restart, off you go. So, yeah. We have some, I think we're up on YouTube, right? We are good. Yeah, we're up on YouTube. Yep. So, hopefully you guys are great and you had a wonderful night too. Man, what's the schedule? Yeah, who knows at this point? As best we can. All right, what is, it's 9:30 and Caleb and Victor are texting each other in the text chain. Yeah, okay. About rehearsals tonight. Ding 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 ding. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, plenty of people are on the YouTubes. Yay! Hi, Nikki. What was really funny last night was like all the people that I haven't seen in like 2 years. Oh, excuse me. Practically. I mean, some of them we made a run at, or I've run into them a couple times. But that watched the show, that watched the afternoon show. I got into a bunch of discussions with people last night, just because they were like, I watch your show and what you said on this thing and that. It was really lovely. Very, I'm always surprised. I mean, I love that you guys are here, and I'm always surprised at that as well. Like I'm glad. I feel like, because you guys know me, like, to me, the arts is a service job. Comedy's a calling, and it's funny that people wait tables to become actors when acting is in its own way sort of an emotional waiting tables. You make sure people are fed and they get where they're going on time. Hit your mark and bark. But at the same time, maybe brighten their day or make them more aware of life around them, if that's what the goal of drama. But I'm still, because we just started this for the hell of it, I'm still constantly amazed. And, yeah. Thanks, Sean. Yeah. This is what it looked like if I don't, cool it. Yep. That's right, Mia. Morning. What's happening, Crystal? Hi. Well, that's the thing, Wes, is that, I always, he's saying he loves his music, but he's very content making it in his basement. Music is for the individual heart. So you can make, it's interesting. It's one of those things, it's like cooking for yourself and really appreciating it. It's one of those things where you can get the benefit of it, or you can give the benefit of it, and it still has value. And it's made up out of whole cloth. It comes from between your ears in that gold mine of creativity that exists in everyone if they just start mining it, to whatever extent you feel is necessary. So, yeah, it's nice. Should we look at, before I fade entirely, should we look at the trends today? There's already one that I think is like everybody's catching on to. It's really lovely. This guy, right? Oh, let's see. Hold on. First of all, let's see. All right, that's some BS about Don Lemon. Don't spill his video. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a hypocrite. Don Lemon loads on lawmakers who want to honor. Okay, that's the MLK Day. Plan B. Mel Gibson getting a job, right? Everybody's freaking out about that. Hope Hicks. This guy makes $100K walking dogs. Good for him. Oh, Ivanka and the Fifth and all that kind of stuff. That's okay. That's why is Ivanka trending? Because she did too. Oh, this is Eric Trump. Yeah. So Glenn Kirshner did. So New York Attorney General Letitia James revealed in the court finding Eric Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 500 times around like one issue at one point. There were like hundreds of times around just one filing. And honest to God, does anybody think that Eric Trump couldn't, presented with some sort of like, did you raise or lower the evaluations of these properties in terms of the tax deferment available to the corporation, using a percentage that you knew full well was like, he could simply go, math make my brain feel like it's full of ticks and jello. I don't know. And they'd go, all right, yeah, he actually is stupid. You can go. Former Donald Trump and Ivanka Trump are all engaged and have been involved in either overseeing or arranging financial misstatements to financial insurance institutions, says the New York agent. Yeah, we know this, Tom. We have known this for a very long time. Just sitting across from Eric Trump while he pleads the Fifth, and every time he has to go, plead the Fifth thing again. What about your response to item number 3? I give it to 1. 1, 2. The Fifth thing again. I'm doing the Fifth thing again. If it's true, Ivanka Trump submitted from misleading financial statements to Deutsche Bank, shouldn't she be good? Well, that's up to Deutsche Bank to some degree if they want to press charges. The problem that they're running into probably is that, they also sent misleading stuff to the IRS. And, because that was what the conflict was. You tell the bank it's worth a lot of money, and you tell the IRS it ain't worth shit. And that's the scam they've been doing for years. That's where that $74 million, that's right, maggots, $74 million refund Trump got that he was not entitled to because he overvalued and devalued, and the IRS went, wait a minute, we gave you 74, give that back. And he'd already spent it because he's a broke son of a bitch. What's in her box? Shredded paper. Taking legal action to force Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump to comply with our investigation. No one in this country can pick and choose if and how the law applies to them. Not anymore. Anyways, I find that fascinating that Eric, because you get okay, Don Jr.'s going in to testify, and you're like, this is going to be trouble, man. This is going to be trouble. And then, Marty Roberts from Marty and Elaine died. We mentioned him last night because we just found out yesterday. They're sweet people. Yeah, so they can keep going at this. And then there's that, of course, there's that footage of him saying, the mob pleads the Fifth. The mob, that's who, Oh, God, it's so funny. Can you imagine the flop sweat, aggravated interviews he's going to be, take them, not me. Get me out of here. I don't need this bullshit. Either one. I'm good with you. One or both. Or both. Take both of them. Please. oh God, just on and on. And it's just like, the weird part about all this stuff is it's just pitiful. You know what I mean? It's not like some extraordinary crime. It's just run-of-the-mill fraud. Just low-end fraud. And the only reason they got away with it was because there's a lot of that shit in New York real estate, and they just don't want to deal with it because it will fuck up the whole industry there, and there's millions being shuffled around. Right? Yeah, I posted the... Let's see if I can find this for you. Hold on. Go back to here. Back to here. I'm dealing with a lot fewer... let's see. Okay. This business. A lot less screen space. Let's see. Oh, thanks, IG Mac. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. I'm rolling through there. I'll find it in here. Hi. Good morning, everybody. I'm just scrolling through. I'm finding these like, are you doing a show? Are you doing a show? Yes, I'm doing a show. Hi. Hi. Sorry I was late. Literally computer frozen. It's very, very weird. Thanks, Eileen. Where are we? Okay, hold on. I'll look it up because it's worth doing it. And yeah, here you go. This is...
Bob. The mob takes the Fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment? Fifth Amendment. Horrible. Horrible.
See if I can get this. Back this up. Loop back, what you doing? What are you doing? Loop back, do you even work anymore? Yeah, so here's the... While I work on fixing that thing. Everything, like I'm starting from scratch every time. Like nobody... Bumper. You don't do any updates at all? It's up right up there in the corner. Computer's like, hey, you want to update your software? Yes, you do. Yes, you must. You have to. All right, now, let's see. There's stream audio. Excellent. And then from that, I want... Safari should be on. Let's see.
Amendment. Bob. The mob takes the Fifth. Okay. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment? Fifth Amendment.
This is the disgraceful. Here we go. Hold on. Switching cameras. There we go. This is also, in relation to this is what I call like Trump's damn it face. Where he's like it's supposed to go his way and all of a sudden it's not. And so he's got this, he does it now in the rallies all the time. But anytime he's basically busted and he's like grumbling about it.
Fifth Amendment. Bob. The mob takes the Fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment? Fifth Amendment. Horrible. Horrible. The mob takes the Fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
The Don Father. Yeah, there's a lot of variations of this,
Taking the Fifth, so they're not prosecuted. When you have the man that set up the illegal server taking the Fifth, I think it's disgraceful. Fifth Amendment. Bob. The mob takes the Fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
Yeah, are you listening, Eric?
Fifth Amendment. Horrible. Horrible. He pleaded the Fifth, and that was the end. We never heard about him again. This is like Watergate, only it's worse. Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secret. When you
also, no, they were not. Beyond the whole, like, obviously we live in a post email server world. This is 2016 from back then when they were just pretending all this shit. But they were gonna get like recipes and where she was, like her social calendar and shit like that. None of the stuff that was classified that was on there was classified because it was classified top secret or above top secret or national security secrets. It was classified as a document of notice. That was the biggest one. Like these are classified as government exchanges, whatever. That was the most extreme. Like that's where they were like, she was playing ducks and drakes with some of this stuff, but none of it was like our most important, vital national secrets. Like the shit Trump gave away to Sergei Lavrov in the Oval Office. They're joking around. He's joking around with the Russians in the Oval Office. Like a month later, an Israeli agent in Russia is killed. I'm sure it's unrelated, you know. Yeah, this was, let's see, there was another one. Somebody was... Fifth, I'm pleading the fifth. Flynn operative Dundas endorsed the storming of the Capitol on stage and said it was necessary.
Who had the guts to show up here and the guts to storm the Capitol. In my humble opinion, it is what is necessary. So that's not what I was actually going to say, that little update on current events, right? God bless everybody who had the guts to show up here and the guts to storm the Capitol. In my humble opinion, it is what is necessary. So that's not what I was actually going to say, that little update on current events, right? God bless everybody.
Good Lord. It was really necessary to have this failed, like, goofy, stupid attempt to try and attack the Capitol, which was doomed to fail, dumb from the start, weak, anti-democratic, violent nonsense, a bunch of, like, cult-like fappery. Yeah. If your head isn't, why are you taking the bed? Why are you taking the bed? Good stuff. He answers question of Kim accusing face goals. Oh, this whole thing about, like, he went to a office party in the courtyard for 25 minutes and he didn't take his mask off and he didn't do COVID rules or some shit like this. That's what you're going to get him over? Like, I don't like the guy, but I mean, Brits, what's up? Amber, Kate, Ivanka. This just sounds like all the Mean Girls are trending or something. Image of a news. Yeah. What's this business? Image of a news broadcast banner from CNN is fabricated. The news later put a later fact. He saw an image of a news broadcast banner from what? Oh, I see. But morally white. What? Investigation. Shooter was factually black but morally white. Pants on fire lie. That's hilarious. Satire. Boulder police officer killed in a shooting at supermarket in Boulder. Okay, this is March. Yeah. So it's just in relation to that particular case. Doctored. Yeah, you think, but morally white. You do be, like, here's the thing. Can we, everybody gather in. Look. Russia just attacked Ukraine, like a massive cyber attack on their government servers and everything as a warning, their telecommunication servers and that kind of stuff. And it's, it's a lot of saber rattly bullshit. But that's kind of all they got right now. Russia has a $66 billion military budget, something like that. Ours is $784 a year. And so what they really have, what their main weapon is cyber attacks. There are hardline cyber attacks. There are, complicated cyber attacks that require coding and all kinds of shit. And then there's soft power cyber attacks, which is basically all done through social media. Fake accounts from everything from Twitter to LinkedIn for people that look real going, I think this is this way. And then there's like dozens upon dozens upon dozens of them. And there's other countries supporting these kind of things too. So they might not even, like if Iran or China runs these kind of accounts, they don't even care if the ones, that they're boosting are real. They could be Russian ones that they're boosting up. But that's one of the easiest ways to screw with a society or a government or a country that you're trying to mess with right now. They do it all over Ukraine. Like it's silly not to understand that. So whenever stuff comes up in your feed and you're like, oh my God, this is trending, mm-hmm. and you're being like, you can kind of smell this worm has a fish hook. If there is any doubt, there is no doubt. If you feel like you're being led around by the nose by posts about certain stuff, you are. And even if some of the initial people who posted it or were posting about the idea are legit, genuinely care, genuinely are presenting an idea or something that they care about, even if that's the case, the rest of the posts around it that are making it look like it's a giant, push by a lot of people that obviously this is a big issue that, is all inflated artificially on purpose. I don't know for a fact that we do it in some of these countries. I wouldn't doubt it. And I feel like if we're not, that's our mistake. Because that's where the war is waged, and a lot of people believe that the next world war will be entirely cyber. But there are levels of attack all the time, and ever since the day CNN and Fox and MSNBC for that matter, but CNN started doing it. They started doing the citizen journalist thing, and then they started doing these like reading people's tweets on the air or their Facebook posts and asking questions to people on screen that they were interviewing from those questions without ever knowing pre-verification before any of that shit started. Without knowing if that person's real, if it's a made-up account, if it's a spoiler, if somebody's creating these kind of like ghost accounts, they didn't care. And the minute that happens, the minute you start doing that, every bad actor in the world, from governmental organizations to cartels to everybody's like, oh, this is an easy end. This is the easiest thing in the world. How did our politics get so divided? Why are we split so far? Well, largely, and maybe I'm a little sensitive to this because I don't benefit from it, but I'm not in many ways as much as you might think. I don't qualify on a lot of people's views as polarizing enough because because of my hard and fast ethical rules about what I will wish on certain people and those kind of things. We've discussed those in the past, but also because I mock the worst of the worst, so that the people who are maybe aligning with them that might be salvageable and might come to their senses one day can go, all right, he's mainly joking about the idea, not about my humanity. And therefore there is a path to extricate themselves, right? And that doesn't work in this kind of manipulation. It doesn't serve. I'll get the attacks from it. I'll get, we'll get a dump of trolls every so often, professional ones that come in, but for the majority of the time, most of the time, because my my audience is so smart and you guys don't take the bait, we're kind of a waste of time for them. But when you talk about like the polarizing voices, how do you think they got as big as they got that quickly? How do you think they got millions of subscribers faster than everybody else when they're growing on the same arc? It's not because what they're saying is true or has worked out. Right? We've seen a bunch of these times. They've been wrong again and again and again. And in a sensible universe, most of the people would go, all right, I'll listen to that asshole for a little while. But like he claimed this was going to happen and this was going to happen. None of it did. You know, you'd think normal people would come around after that. But in this case, you know, they get a lot of support. They really do. So, and it's because it's an easy target. It's not a lot of work to herd people online anyways. This whole BS that, you know, the Jan 6 guys, like, we weren't going to storm the Capitol, but this really convincing cosplay maggot who was really an Antifa guy said, come on, attack. And you're like, all right. We weren't gonna, but, you know, this BLM guy was up there, you know, this FBI guy said, why don't you attack the Capitol? And I'm like, well, my morals could kick in and say that's not something I do as an American and as a Christian or whatever their self-perception is. But they're like, all right. Okay. All right. I guess we're all storming. We're all going to take a shit. Everybody's shitting in the Capitol, right? Okay, good. Online, that is easy to do. Look at the number of times when you're dealing with, you know, real issues of racial justice in the country, for example, that require awareness and scrutiny by the general public. And then there's a bunch of videos get released that are hypercut to make it look like the cop acted wrongly or whatever. So it creates an artificial controversy. So you have some kind of like both sides about it. Like, well, if you watch the whole context, you know, it was obviously a legal situation and necessary and unfortunate, but life. And what that does by doing that hypercut video with no context, it creates this idea that all the legitimate ones lack legitimacy because this is all part of, you know, lefties on Twitter, righties on Twitter, you know, arguing for their POV. So you can water down a legitimate issue by throwing in stuff that's half-baked, and that makes the whole argument seem weak. And by following the half-baked ones, you make the truly important ones less important. And that's the part, again, you always have to, in these situations, I think, look at what part you might play in denigrating or diminishing your own situation or your own argument or your own philosophy or the cause you care about. Because that's the first thing that you can solve. That's, you know, I can't automatically convince someone in their head, in their heart, in their soul how to care or be empathetic. Not, you know, there's no light switch or magic wand that I can wave to make it happen. So one of the first things you can do is go, okay, what am I doing right in this situation? What am I doing wrong? What's the, you know, if they're all facts and no feelings, how do I shift my argument away from feelings to facts? If they're all feelings and no facts, how do I appeal to their feelings? You know, knowing your audience is part of that. So, Ted Cruz majored in that in Harvard. False flag, the fog of war. Yeah, well, that's, you know, a false flag in many ways. If you look at it, there are all these like mini false flags all over social media all the time. And we're not the only ones receiving it. You know, there's this weird element of like navel gazing that Americans have been taught to do systematically over the last, few decades. That, we're the center of all problems, that our CIA caused every war that you've ever seen, that like all that story. And where there, like I said, where there are moments where criticism is necessary and people within the CIA or the NSA or the DOD or the Congress have done things that the people of America find morally reprehensible, and a lot of times we'll have trials about those things. We'll have very few people go to jail, but it's not for lack of trying on the part of the moral want of the voter. In a lot of ways, it's because those people don't get into the position of power where they can do that kind of trouble without knowing the absolute legal barriers. It's only the idiocy of the Trump family that is allowing them to be so easily caught over time. They're just walking into these rakes. But it's not because the people don't care, and we aren't unique in the world. I mean, I've shown you guys over the last few weeks, especially, I've kind of brought up the, international part of the show, with our de facto Kazakhstani geography lesson last Friday, that there is so much going on out there that is, linear, trackable, and obviously comparable to everything you see on your social media, in your news, how the news treats certain stories, how they treat it as an American story versus an international story, the narrative through which they say it. Now, there is a big difference in how our news handles it than, say, some of the European news services that we actually appreciate. And I don't mean like the propaganda-ish stuff of Russia and China or Korea or those kind of things. But where they're like, there's recognition that nobody's perfect, but we're always trying to do the best we can, and this is exemplary. This is a great example of what our people do, and this is a bad example of what our people are capable of. Those kind of things. We're terrible at that right now. And largely it's because we've been trained that way over decades. And there's not find a main character in a movie about the CIA that was a good guy or a good girl that didn't go rogue to do it. Or even a situation where the bad guy wasn't actually caused and created by the good guy. And I mean, it's a big American narrative. It's been around for a long time. Also, and the dual track of that, all the bad guy storylines where we're developing sympathy for the most awful people. Scarface and The Godfather and Breaking Bad and all these guys, just hideous human beings. But can't you look at this awful person and find the seed of their humanity that you might have some common ground with? Meanwhile, but all the people who are trying to do some good are secretly evil. Like, what the fuck? And so I don't blame everybody for just immediately being paranoid and blaming the entire, world's problems, on us. Right? When do you hear otherwise? When do you hear that the only reason a good portion of the world flourished after World War II is because the U.S. Navy patrolled the seas and kept pirates at bay, protected shipping routes, and did not force, trade on anybody in exchange for it. And it's the only reason that the international shipping lanes work. And the minute we stop it goes to hell. When would you even, people do not suck, Thomas. People are awesome. You have been taught systematically over time that people suck. If your parents suck or your children suck, I'm sorry. But try to avoid overlapping that on other people. And it's a habit that goes around. I'm always amazed when people are like, men are blah, blah, blah. Women are blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sorry your mom or your dad was an asshole, but not everybody is like that. People used to suck less. No, they didn't. They corralled it a little more. There was just fewer of them. You know, it's easy to be nice when you're, and it's not that crowded. Smile. Right. So, what's funny is this is what I'm talking about right now. This is considered radical thought. I'm serious. Because if I came out here and told you that, that we're to blame for everything, the world sucks, we're always on the verge of war, blah, 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 that's exactly what you've heard and what you will hear. And it's nonsense. It goes with the kind of, radical optimism that I talk about. Because, it doesn't take any strength whatsoever to be nihilistic and negative. None. Because, on the one hand, you're allowed to just act cool because of it. The world sucks. All that bullshit. By just, you seem kind of rebellious by, calling the world shit. And on the other hand, you don't have to be right. Because you can always say, well, eventually. Right? Eventually, it's all going to fall down. It's all the end of the thing. I saw Terminator. The show was great last night. Thank you for asking. And welcome anybody who's just joining us right now. I did start off a little later than usual. It's nice to hang out. I am at home. I did not sleep backstage last night. Thank you. Life is weird. People are fallible. Exactly. Earth are great, but the invaders have to go? What invaders are you talking about? Humans? Deer? Cockroaches? Termites? Viruses? You think anything we've done is outside of the absolute natural world? You think it isn't totally natural for human beings to create nation states and make microphones and learn how to drive, and that's unnatural? We're supposed to all live in lean-tos until we die of dysentery because that's what's natural? Should be able to sit there and watch people starve to death like deer. Go, well, that's just not like we're all in a nature documentary and we don't know each other. For fuck's sake. I'm over it. I'm over this nonsense. I think there's a plane going to crash into my house right now. It just sounds like I'm fine with this. Set up a boom. You just stumble out like everything's exploded. Holy shit. All right. Count every blessing. Right. Hi, buddy. Thank you. A guy wants to start shooting people at the Charlie Kirk rally. Who is he? Oh, you have his guns taken away. His story's been buried. Oh, that guy? Yeah, when do we start shooting people? That dude? I'm sure he made it onto some sort of a watch list, but I don't think that guy's going to do anything because the kind of people who do that shit don't stand up and say that stuff at those kind of events. He was just posturing. He very well may have been somebody, who thought if I say this, everybody, they'll all join in and clap, and therefore I'll get them all in trouble. You know what I mean? Again, I don't need to chase that stuff down. So, yeah, giving in and saying everything sucks is a lazy way of brushing off your responsibilities as a decent human being. I agree, and your ability to contribute. Because you do have one. So, is that Bigfoot on T? Yes, it is Bigfoot on my shirt. This is from Portland, ironically enough. I got this when I did Helium in Portland a while back. Rattling a saber makes noise, drawing one does not. Yeah, very close. I went to the Pawn Stars store in Vegas. What a dump. Yeah, I've been there too. I mean, it looks like crap on the show as well. I mean, it's okay. First of all, what do you think a pawn shop looks like? Including CNN, even other liberals have been trashing Biden. CNN has been like, Biden has a lot of questions to answer. Trump never answered a single question. Yeah, well, and again, what part are we serving that up? For some reason, liberals have, and I mean, the progressive versus liberal argument is another thing, but liberals in general have allowed that conversation to go on without any pushback because there's some sort of you've been told you should be embarrassed to have voted for Biden and gotten Trump out of there and that you couldn't have possibly wanted all these things when you absolutely did. For fuck's sake, Infrastructure Week, we're out of Afghanistan. How many times do we have to cover all this shit? Does anybody have any illusions that after a pandemic, which worldwide we're about halfway through, in the United States we're maybe 3/4 of the way, but the rest of the world is still arcing through this awful, and it's going to be a while. Especially the impoverished nations. Poor countries are going to have a hell of a time. Yeah. Trump to Maggie had to lie about the USA. America was great, is great, and will continue to be great, and I'm a Canadian. Yeah, I mean, America's a great country both because of its potential and its constant moving towards that, not because of any one man. And the embarrassment, I don't get. Yes, I saw the Mexican TV host going off on the anti-maskers. Mexico's is Texas's biggest trading partner, right? And a huge portion of the Texas economy is based on the trade that they do to and from Mexico. And without that trade alliance, even outside the greater United States trade alliance with Mexico and Canada, Texas would be a fucking wreck. Biden was elected to stop the crazy? No, he wasn't. You couldn't possibly. How do you stop the crazy? What does that mean? He was elected to do his job, and well, and thoughtfully. And he is. There's a dog next door. That's new. I think it's new. Depends on where it's coming from. I think there might have been one over here. Texas is still Mexico. Us still Mexico. That's why we don't care. I think there's a typo in that, Evo. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, crazy has no brakes. That's it's like saying Biden was going to fix the, stop COVID. And so as soon as he gets into office, all the Republicans are like, what can we do to keep COVID as bad as possible for as long as we can? And if he fails because we won't get vaccinated and we're ending up in the hospital, it's his fault. Because we did it to get back at him. Like, it's just ridiculous. And it should be ridiculous at its face. Like anybody who's like, the numbers are way up. The numbers are way up because of the unvaccinated. In terms of, the cases are up because of Omicron. But the hospitalizations and death, all unvaccinated people. All people who are at this point foot stomping unvaccinated. Like, I'm not going to. That's it. So at what point is it no longer his fault because it cannot be his responsibility? There is no ability to respond. If you are intransigent and refuse, if you're starving and I offer you food and you refuse to eat, is it my fault you starved to death at that point? Up until the point where you're like, this person is starving, they have no food, you are responsible for bringing them food. If you bring them food and they do not consume it, at what point does the responsibility shift to them? Or to the people around them telling them not to eat? Because those people either are not hungry enough to be starving yet or do not perceive themselves to be hungry, if we're going to carry this analogy through. Yeah, you can lead a horse to water. You cannot make him take ivermectin. You have to use a big tube, and you had to Dr. Paul it up as hoo-ha. The prior guy's first 3 months, he was cut out of the UN because he was scared of the international criminal courts. Should have known there was problems going. Oh, yeah. Well, he's just worried about international tax. And the idea that, like, if he was going to be a tough guy, anytime he was a tough guy, they were going to, try him on war crimes. That was a big fear. Like he was ever going to do anything, egregious or powerful. A very beautiful plan to do whatever. Actually, you can. It's unpleasant for all. Right. Yeah, I mean, you cannot. Hi. His hoo-ha. Yes, that's right, Jennifer. Oh, you were banned from Newsmax yesterday? Congratulations, David. They canceled you? What? There's cancel culture in the comments section at Newsmax? Who would have thunk it? What about free speech? Grumble, grumble. Did you try to pay them like $400 to let you say what you're doing in Super Chats? Like that dude we had in here? He was like doing Super Chats. You're denying free speech. I'm like, nope. Go yell on a street corner. There's nothing I can do to stop you. I think I read somewhere that about $4 billion in trade moves across the southern border every day, and many Americans and Mexicans go back and forth every day. Well, that's exactly it, Katzenjammer. When Hillary Clinton was talking about I think she used the phrase open border, and that's what started all this bullshit. But the idea is that you wanted a kind of regular, like a rotating door. In terms of people who work in Texas but live in Mexico, right? Hold on a second. Something going on. Open it up and see. Don't know what's going on, but I'll find out momentarily. Everything's so slow on this computer. It's brutal. Okay, yes, I see that. The computer's so choppy. This is aged. I bought this computer a few years ago and made it the house computer so that, Chad and Bumper could record music when I wasn't here. Because my laptop could do it, but the one that was here was just on, it was dying. And now, this one's on its, on its way out. Okay, hold on. Whoops. Oh, it's about my photo shoot today. Okay. Sorry, I got a message coming up and I gotta... It's so slow. It's driving me crazy. Literally trying to open a JPEG. This thing is freaking out. Okay, cool. Yep. All right, all good. Okay. And then I'm getting messages from last night where people are like, hey, Doug can't be here. Do you think you could sing a song? Yeah, I think so. I think I can manage. Yeah. Lumber is one of the main exports of the U.S. We have a lot of trees. Yes, we do, and we grow them all the time like we farm trees. It takes a long time, but we do it. The audio is intermittent. I think that's when it gets choppy from this thing. Oh, good Lord. I just know I'm going to have to, the rig I bring when I go on the road, I was like, I don't have to bring it this time. Everything will work. It'll be fine. I don't know why. What am I thinking? Why would I even... Silly boy. I have a feeling I'm going to have to bring my road shit with me even when I come to LA next time, just in case, because at least that one I keep updated. The laptop that I use to tour on. And I've got the gigs this weekend. And you know what's weird? I just had a massive deja vu about the San Francisco gig and talking to you guys and being right here talking about. Now this is, it always looks exactly the same when I'm here. So, so it might be easy, but, thanks, Chris. I'm glad. Fingers crossed. But, getting like every other late. It's fine on your end. We do have 5G Wi-Fi back here. It's plugged in. There's, it's plugged in Ethernet. The problem is the computer is it's like next to croaking. It's not doing good. Yeah. Why is Hope Hicks trending? Let's see. Except when I'm told it isn't true. The fact that it becomes half true by being tweeted over and over is also... What? It seems a fake account tweeted she and Sean Spicer, among other things, are joining Celebrity Big Brother. They are not. Oh, I see. That's why. Oh, who cares? Nina Totenberg. Of course, exhausting and delusional sexual project. Oh, the Sotomayor stuff that was going on, right? That she was reporting on them, their pissing match that was supposedly existing. And then Deutsche Bank, and yeah, it's obvious. Gorsuch and the whole thing, the masks, and oh, good Lord. I mean, I love you guys. Can't you just add me to the cast of Walking Dead, and I'll just do the show from Georgia in the afternoons? They'll just carve out 2 hours a day, and I'll broadcast live from one of the houses that's on the set and shoot around me. Can we do that? I'll just be Daryl's long-lost cousin who was in a hair band who walked all the way from California over these last few years. Is it too much to ask? How'd you survive? I was cheerful. What? Yeah. It's the best way to survive a zombie apocalypse. Just got to keep your head up. Also, I didn't have a gun at the beginning, so I, like everybody, I didn't go deaf in the beginning, so I can actually hear zombies walking up on me, so they never really surprised me, especially in the woods. They step on a twig. They're really slow. Yeah, so it's not hard. I have firecrackers. Anytime they're following me, I throw them in a few firecrackers in the wood. They all run that way. I tiptoe away. I'm great at acting like a deer. Carl! Right. No. That's one of those shows, I have to say, like, that and Criminal Minds and, like, Law & Order, as working actor jobs go, like, those are the fucking sweet ones, where you're like, the show's on for, like, 20 years, and after a while, you're just like, what are we doing today? You stab 3 zombies, you get in an argument, somebody dies, and then you go for a bicycle ride. And, all right, cool. What about tomorrow? Carl. Oh, yes. Hi, Carl. I did love The Walking Dead in the beginning. Yeah. You're hired, be there by 2? Okay. They would be annoyed with me on that show because I'd go, no zombie apocalypse would last more than 3 days because the flies would eat all the dead flesh and the bodies wouldn't be able to move and nobody's getting eaten by a pile of bones unless it's fucking a Ray Harryhausen movie from 1972. Hey Hal, when are you and Major gonna do some podcasts together? You two could put on one heck of a show. I'll at some point, I think in the mornings, it might be nice to, like, once a week have a guest on to talk with, not interview, but to talk with. Do I smoke weed? No, I do not. No. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I'm not going to. I have no interest. I think they're silly. Honest to God. Rick was taken away in a helicopter. He's going to come back with, like, Zombie Force in season 12. Hal, do you smoke weed? Probably. Cold Case is very good? Yeah. That'd be a funny image. A happy song playing while you're skip along killing zombies. Exactly. I mean, they're already dead. You're not even really killing them. I'm sorry the connection is horrible where you are. It seems okay in other places, but it's a little choppy. Whenever I open a file, it gets a little, yeah. This is so funny. This is what made me think of the whole thing. Warning, Carol is baking cookies again on the Walking Dead trailer. Whenever you see Carol holding a tray of cookies on the Walking Dead, that things are about to get messy. She's starting to look like Jamie Lee Curtis in the latest Halloween iterations. Yeah, how do you know? How can you not, like, when you see these guys come and go, got the thriller night, and fighting for your life inside a killer thriller. I would literally run away singing Thriller. Like, you guys stay safe over there. I'll distract them. Killer thriller. Do you think anybody, I mean, honestly, it would be, I think, it would be impossible for me if I'd survived a year in a zombie apocalypse where it just becomes normal. You know what I mean? The normalization of it. Where if I was just running from a bunch of them and I was just pacing myself so I didn't run out of energy. And I'm just running down a road to not start going down, tick, tick, digga bigga digga bigga dong dong digga 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 dong dong digga 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 dong dong digga digga. This is thriller. Fuck me. Not in for your life inside. I couldn't not. You know what I mean? Like at some point you just got to go like, well, I've survived this long. I've seen some awful shit. Been through some things. At what point does because everybody assumes that your brain always snaps towards the negative. I think there's a very strong chance your brain snaps towards the positive depending on who you are. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you liked my outfit last night. I totally broke it down, Robin. It didn't last. I need a good one. I got that as a stage outfit a long time ago, and I've never worn it, so I was like, I want to put it on. By the time I was done like dancing and performing, it was shredded. Like the silver was coming off of it, and I was like a human confetti factory. But now I want the real deal, so I'm in the market for a full silver suit. Because I have entered the DGAF phase of my stage wear. I might dress kind of, as we say on the home front, down. You know, the gray man. That's how I dress when I'm usually out and about. But as a performer, I'm a closet glam vestite, always have been. And at some point, I feel like I should have the very right to dress however the fuck I want on stage. I'm on stage for crying out loud. It's fun. You know, you guys know one of my pet peeves is people who want to go see. The reason, why I like his music and go and see him live, because he's just like me. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like me. Well, then stay home and look in a mirror. Well, you're paying $125 to sit front row on a show where you're like, I'm seeing myself up there. He dresses just like I do. Like, why do you think I'm a Kiss fan? Like, good Lord. Hey, Cindy. Anyways, back to thriller night, fighting for your life inside a thriller. Dum dum digga 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 dum dum digga. Run away! The Widow and a bunch of stormtroopers. Like, those outfits are fucking hilarious. They look like the dancing stormtroopers. I know what they're trying to do, but... And I do love the fact that they've got fresh clothes these days. I mean, that is... Someone got a tumble dryer working. That's all I'm saying. And I'll be goddamn if she's not wearing the... I have that shirt. That's one of the shirts you guys are like, oh, it looks good on you. Carl. Oh, no. This is Carl, too. Aw. I have to say, I fucking lost interest in The Walking Dead when Glenn died. That was my character. Everyone's everywhere. The song group we had back in the beginning. A little group has always been and always digga. Sorry, that's gonna be stuck in my head all fucking day. These fucking stormtroopers all doing. Look at this outfit. What is happening? What's going on with these? How do you keep them that clean? Why would you choose white anyways? What's happening? I mean, I guess this. Oh, okay. So they look better covered in blood. Yeah, the other thing, too, is like, how do you not... Who's the dude with the... Oh, because he lost his arm. So you have a... groovy hand. Yeah, after a while, this just became Game of Throngs. Oh, for God's sake, who's honking outside? I do love me some Daryl, though. It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing would be, if a zombie apocalypse happens, you're going to raid a BMX store immediately. Because I don't care who they are, they can't bite through, bike armor. Carol, you crazy woman. And also the number of, oh boy, poor guy. Let's keep. Carol with cookies. It's bad news. Stop scrolling and watch the trailer. No, okay. Negan, who's by the way, a serial rapist. When they first met him in the series, he had a harem of women he forced to have sex with him, and made their boyfriends and husbands, and in some cases families, either watch or participate. So fuck him and anybody who likes him. Like, those things are weird. Like, I understand at a certain point you draw a line like, well, we're alive and they're dead and that's that. But the championing of him is the problem that I have. And how do you not... I'm just going to wait here, you guys. I'm exhausted. No, I'll catch up. You guys go ahead. Yeah. Ow. Somebody just threw a rock at him. Ow. Hit me with a rock. Is that what somebody literally throwing a rock at him? Watch. Dump. Somebody's just checking to see if he's a moving zombie or he's already past rot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of what's going on with the costumes, but this whole, the design meeting when you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse and you're like, I don't know. I think 3 red stripes is just right, but 4 is too much. What do you guys think? Well, I'm not putting it up for a goddamn vote. This is the material I picked, and this is what we're going to do. Yeah, but we got to make so many of these, and not everybody's tall enough for 4 stripes. It's just... That part of it's always funny to me. Cookies? Arsenic, anyone? Like, after a while, I mean, having been on a couple of shows where you're like, have we already done this storyline? You start, like, after you've been on for fucking 12 years, how do you not? Right? Thanks, guys. Hi, Twitch. I haven't reset at all. You're watching Hal Sparks' Mornings Megaworldwide. It's the morning show that I just toss on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Against my better judgment some mornings when I'm far away and using a computer that hasn't been updated since the Battle of Verdun. And you can like and subscribe and give a thumbs up or not. You can also hate and troll and flail and get upset. And my chat, unfortunately for you, will not get upset or baited into it. They're just not going to. Sorry. There's a lot of other ones where you'll go. It doesn't take much, and I feel like maybe if you come here, you just graduate into the whole thing. This is what you've been working for your whole life. You can get a rise out of my crowd. You can make it anywhere, kid. You got moxie. Yeah, this computer's like the one that had like Felix Zoller or whatever his name was from Hydra on it. Because he can do it. Like, he died and they put his brain inside that old computer from Winter Soldier. Could be worse. Could have COVID in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. See, Wes, now you're seeing the bright side. It took a little while, but I knew we could get to you, man. I know you. I knew it. Again, a zombie apocalypse would not last that long. Just simply would not. Will there be an afternoon show? Yes, but it will be later than normal. I apologize because I have a photo shoot this afternoon. I have no idea how long it's going to go. Yeah. And, so it's, and I don't do them very often, and I need one because, by the way, my hair looks great today, so I can't not have a photo shoot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to touch it because I'm like, this is what I want it to look like. Like, last night, I was literally after the show, I was like, oh, God, I'm going to be so tired. I'm going to have circles under my eyes. How can I do a photo shoot? I'm going to be all puffy. So I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning singing. It's going to be terrible. And then but my hair looks great. If it survives the night, if I can sleep with it on the pillow, just right and get up, I'm like, if it makes it through, I got to survive. I got to get photos of it. I was like, yep, it looked good this morning. I was like, son of a bitch, we got to do it. Yeah. It's and when I wear a gray shirt or something, you can tell the kind of wavy length. And this is its natural wave. If I just if I give it a little squeeze, that kind of thing, yeah, it's good. Get a satin pillowcase. Will that do it? I have to wear it up like Prince did with one of those like housemaid tie-up things that he always used to wear around the house. It was amazing. It's very Lorenzo Lamas. I'm hoping to bring back, a cop show, named, called Tough or Hunter or, Double Mr. Guns. That's good. Shows you're at the top of your improv game. Renegade. There you go. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Lawman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. Yeah! Comedy clubs in Horizon Worlds is picking up. That's great. Hunter, yes. Think of the possibilities. Now, I agree. I've seen that. They're like this. Everybody's saying, get a silk pillowcase. Yeah. I know there was a show called Hunter. That's what I'm saying. I have a lot of orbs in my room. Oh, I'm clearly haunted. The ghosts like to hang out with me because they know I'm good company. So they float around the environment around me. Is that place haunted? Probably. Here's what I think. I think we live in multi dimensions, and that ghosts are, residual soul energy from people who've been here or want to be here. They don't have to necessarily have. And I think people come back again and again. And when you see those orbs, it's like you ever see those cross sections where they do an MRI or an X-ray of somebody, and they go slice by slice of their head, from the top down, or their whole body. I think the orbs are like a cross-section of an arm or a bicep or a finger or something. And when they're moving like this, and all you see is the cross-section, all you see is a circle from the, huh? What do you think? I like it. It's the best sort of explanation that still maintains the existence concept that I can come up with. Orb Hunter. That's the new show. That's right. Yeah. Just all these like light balls are floating after me, and I'm running. 'Cause this is thriller. Sorry. How this is the size of a Crystal Anderson. Did you see it too? Oh. Very possibly. Very exciting. The Prisoner. Look, after COVID, that's a little too close to home. Maybe The Wanderer. Would that be okay? I like the show Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer was genius. Dr. 13. So funny. David Wraith. I miss Ficus. How's Ficus these days? He's good. He's not here, though. He's not in L.A. There's rules and limitations on him. Hold on. Bring this up a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. I haven't done any house cleaning on this on this screen at all either since updating it. Used to have 3 giant PV KB300s. Wow, down to a little JBL with internal power. I got my spider valve. I just love that friggin' thing, the Line 6. Yes, David Raich also got killed in the movie Cobra. He got an axe to the chest. Or no. The dude with the wine bottle got axed in the chest. Raich just got, like, chopped. He was the skeevy producer, agent, photographer guy for magazines that was trying to sleep with Brigitte Nielsen. Tell Ficus hello and don't forget to floss. Okay. The Osbournes one, I believe, is a fun show. Okay. Alien Bounty Hunter from X-Files. Okay. Yellowstone in 1883. Right on. We got what to from Mist Orb. So from Hal's sake, send them love and hugs to each comment, and they'll fade away. It's true. Yeah, even again, some folks are just new and they're migrating from other shows over to watch, especially the afternoon show, and they're having a hard time, adjusting. If you come to the show regularly, to both the new fans or new watchers, dealing with the idea that we don't, the trolls don't bother us over here, and new trolls moving from somebody else's show where they can normally get a rise out of everybody, moving over here and how come nothing I say makes anybody that upset? Well, different kind of show, dude. We're not that, we ain't that. Today is Tippi Hedren's birthday. She's 92. Holy smokes. Should we all give her the bird? I kid. There's a restaurant in Hollywood called Birds. Let's see if I can find it. And it is... and let's see, where are you? Open up. What are you doing? No, it's just going to not work. It's just going to stop. Oh, there it is. Okay, fine. Birds of Hollywood. Yeah, there it is. But it's themed around... Yeah, let's see if there's a picture in here. Gallery. It's going to be mostly the... Yeah. It is themed around the movie The Birds. Hitchcock's Birds. There you go. So they serve a lot of chicken and stuff like that. They serve a lot of poultry. But there's pictures all over the place. Where are they? There's a big one of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Fucking hipsters. There it is. You can see it back there. There's Hitchcock with a bird landing on his cigar. I don't know why they don't have more pictures of that, but whatever. Come on, guys. Work with me. But it's on Franklin. Anyways, I used to love that place. It was it's a good early life in Los Angeles. That and Swingers were two good date restaurants. If you want to take a date someplace and you didn't have a ton of money, but you wanted to upgrade from, you don't want to take them to fast food. That was one of the ways you could make do. Is like, all right, Birds is kind of a classy joint, and the food's not that expensive, you know? Yeah, and it's Dolly Parton's birthday. Oh my God, what a wonderful person. Just lovely, lovely, lovely. Just ain't nothing wrong with Dolly. My PR swelling was a hipster. I just thought it was a cheap drink. You're just a cheap drunk? Yeah, well, now they're the ones who brought it back. From a long time ago, yeah. Yeah. It was definitely a cheap beverage, but now, yeah. Feels like an Arby's night, right? Everybody loves Dolly Parton. What's not to like? Oh my God. And Dolly Parton was one of those people like Gregory Hines, where you think of, Gregory Hines started out mainly as a dancer, and Dolly Parton obviously is a singer. But then you put them in a movie with, trained actors of the highest order, and they are like chewing the scenery. They are just, the most honest performance in so much of the work that they're in. From, in Dolly's case, from Steel Magnolias to 9 to 5, she's just completely anchored in her performance, completely relaxed. As a character, they just exist. It's fantastic. And Gregory Hines, from White Nights to Running Scared to History of the World Part 1, as comfortable in all those settings as anybody else who that's the only thing they do. Fantastic. Tom Hanks can do anything. I sort of believe that. Yeah. Yep. But Tom Hanks is, an actor and has always been an actor. Never did stand up. Doesn't sing or dance. None of that stuff. Never put any of that stuff in. But you've got these other folks that if you put them in a movie with them, you'd be like, it's on the same par instantly. Yeah, I miss Gregory Hines. Yeah. Just hugely inspiring. Running Scared is one of my favorite movies of all time. And so, when I was, young, I was in high school, and I was like, I want to be an actor, the kind of movies I would often picture myself in was, the Billy Crystal part in a movie like Running Scared. Yeah. Does it seem like such a great time? And then watching that, watching their performance together, the serious moments that he has in that movie, mixed with the comedy and how fluid it is, both of them. There's a lot of actual, as much as it's obviously a buddy cop movie, there's a lot more anchor in that movie than there is in a lot of things. No, I will not watch the Paul Walker Running Scared by accident. Do I ever talk to Al Franken? No. Not that I wouldn't, but I haven't. Already named mountain range after Dolly the Great Tetons. Calm down. Dollywood, yeah, is understated and humble as far as themed establishments go. Yes, agreed. I haven't been in ages. There's a club in Edinburgh, Scotland called Frankenstein. It was a Dr. Frankenstein lab theme. Very cool. Ever talked to Mike Rowe? I've met Mike Rowe way back in the day. It's been a while. Are you blocked? No, apparently not. Dolly has an excellent management team. It's true. Well, I mean, that's partly debatable. When she did the Bluegrass album, she had to be talked into it. She wasn't. I mean, she loves the music, but doing a solely Bluegrass album, she was talked into it. And the turnout for the live shows wasn't very good, and she was kind of disappointed in the whole thing. And that may have singularly pushed her in the direction of doing the Christmas movies and that kind of stuff, which is kind of the upside of it. But that would be I think she would consider that a major management mistake. Have you met Mark Maron? I have. He's, Mark is to me what with depressive, self-involved micro-nihilism, what Joe Rogan is with drugs. Like, they've just staked a claim on that mountain, and they're convinced it's the whole world. It's very strange. I don't get Maron at all. On a personal level. I mean, comedically, I can get his jokes and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyone remember Fox's Millennium? Of course, because Kiss guested on it. And I mean, who doesn't love Lance Henriksen? Love Gregory Hines and Off Limits. Yep. I love Bluegrass. Have you met Sam Bush? Have I met Sam Bush? I have a Sam Bush mandolin that Sam gave my dad because my dad did the fretwork on the mandolins that they sell on that they created for Sam. I've known Sam since I was 2 years old. Yeah. I love Sam Bush. His version of Girl from the North Country, the Bob Dylan song, on mandolin is the reason why I decided to learn mandolin. Yeah. Favorite song of all time is Smokey and the Bandit. I mean, Jerry Reed is another beautiful human being. And a singer who, on an acting level, you put him up against anybody. No shit. Totally true about Sam. Yeah. If you put Jerry Reed in a movie with anybody, nobody would know acting isn't the only thing he does, and it's the most naturalistic performance you'll ever see. Love him. Loved. I mean, I still do, but he's no longer with us. Oh, nice, Jeanette. Yeah, when my voice is a little wrecked after last night, so on my drive back tonight after rehearsal to tune up my voice and keep it in good shape, I will sing Newgrass revival songs, the ones that John Cowan does, to kind of, because he's got such a pure bell tone. My father said, some things you learn by only doing when it comes your turn. Everything comes around, so be ready if you can. Prepare your heart like the farmer turns his land. Right? So you see how I've got grit, and I would want to get rid of it, so I back off and sing it, as purely as I can to kind of like just tune the muscles up and my vocal cords up and then let them heal. Yeah. I listen to Mark Maron, I don't get nihilism. Maybe I myself am so nihilistic that I don't recognize it. Possibly, Sandy. I mean, his stand-up is very depressive. It's very Gen X depressive. It's, yeah. Hugh Laurie's Nola Blues singing takes me back. Well, Hugh Laurie, he's in that band with Grunberg and all those guys, and he's an amazing piano player. My favorite Hugh Laurie song is Kickin' Ass. And if you haven't seen that, look up Fry and Laurie, Kickin' Ass. And you'll go, oh my God, was this written yesterday? Love the mandolin solo in Maggie May. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Sarah. I tried. Worse than Bill Hicks? No, because Bill Hicks, he was angry at the world because he thought it could be better. And if you listen to Bill Hicks, it's just a ride, that concept, that comes from a sense of hope and optimism that is dashed by humanity every so often. But he still believed it. He still, was internally fighting the good fight against it all the time. Whereas, there's a shrug of acceptance of it in Maron's comedy. And it's not uncommon. That's a especially for Maron's generation of comics, that's almost like an accent that they all had. And it's kind of like, the world's shit anyways, right? Like that kind of thing. It all comes like, it's all from a point of view of how much medication am I taking for my depression. Those jokes. Good buddy is considered a derogatory term. It's kind of saying bless you and say, good buddy? Really? No. Because in, growing up where saying yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. Like, people say that all the time. Comedy's like pants. They don't all fit everyone. That's right. Is Bill Hicks, or Dan Hicks in the Hot Licks? I don't think so. Yeah, he does stand-up tragedy, right. Yes, it's interesting. I haven't seen any of Stanhope's stuff in the last few years, but Deadbeat Hero is one of my favorite stand-up specials, of the last 30 years. Dude, in some circles it's an insult. Well, stay out of those circles. Those people are very sensitive and easily upset. You're not my buddy, Rick? That's okay. I don't remember inferring that you were, but there you go. Good comedy is universal, or should be. Not necessarily. A lot of it has to do with references. I'm still suspicious when somebody calls me a dude. Yeah, Wes, that has more to do with you than anybody else, man. I think you're reading far too much. You're giving far too much power away. Yeah. There is no way I would ever let somebody insult me without my permission. What do you call those people? Emo? Yeah, I think, Wes, that would be Maron's like an emo comic. Dude. Hi, Betsy. I love Sling Blade. Yeah, Dwight Yoakam was perfect in that flick. Fortunately, cast members have revealed his acting really wasn't an act. He's an incredible ass in real life. Great flick, though, yes. But, we focus on John Ritter and the beauty of John Ritter and his wonderful acting in that movie. Rick, I'm not your fella friend. Dude, don't call me dude. By the way, you do realize that I'm one of the few people that is not convinced that this whole, hyper-labeling thing is healthy. Even amongst people who are, finally coming into, I think I found a word for what I am. That's not that's not worth chasing. John Ritter in Hero at Large. John Ritter in Real Men with Jim Belushi. They're wonderful in that. It's incredibly silly. I love that movie. That great exchange where Jim Belushi has sex with this female Russian spy who comes in while they're holed up in this house, and she leaves, and he's smoking a cigarette, and Ritter goes, I didn't know you smoked. He goes, yeah, only after sex. And he goes, well, at least you don't do it very often. He goes, about a pack a day. He goes, that'll kill you. He goes, won't kill you, but it will make you very sore. Good buddy is a derogatory term for the F word. That is the derogatory. Gay man in the trucker circle? Jesus Christ. Who cares? Do you think other people who genuinely mean the phrase, he's a good buddy of mine, I love that dude, that because truckers use it as a phrase, the rest of us should like, oh God, don't say good buddy. Get out of here with that bullshit. Dude, like, that's your opinion, man. Right. Honest to God. People are really going to make that case? This group of people who are awful use that word to make fun of this group of people, so that word is now off limits. Like, are you crazy? Aside from the obvious racial and sexual and anti-gay epithets, we don't. When are people going to stop letting the awful people annex everything? These are the same assholes who still think this is the white supremacist thing, even though one of the greatest moments of its use ever is in Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy's like, proof, finally, that Eddie Murphy is a white supremacist. Like, you just basically, if white supremacists go, by the way, we own hello, waving high. You're like, oh shit, can't wave high anymore. Why? Well, those people say it's theirs now. Well, whose idea was it to give it to them? Us. Who the fuck put you in charge? This is the stupidest fucking thing. Yeah, just don't say it on a CB, I see. Right? What in the world? Seriously, the only response now when they're like, oh, white supremacists apparently are giving the peace sign, and so now they've co-opted the peace sign, is to start everybody giving the peace sign for peace again. Are you out of here? Like, oh, we're gonna have to rats. Like, who does that? Is the weirdest reflex. Yeah, we're just gonna let the worst human beings in the world claim every natural visual and verbal communication between people. Get fucked with that nonsense. No. Right, the half a peace sign. Yeah. Just flip everybody off, right. That seems just the weirdest reflex. You know what the response is when somebody goes like, this is the white supremacy phrase or the sign? No, it isn't. It means okay, shut the fuck up. Not, oh, well, I guess we can't all signal okay anymore. Or like, hey, nice job. When you can't speak it across the room. Oh, shit, now what have I done? Oh, God. I just think that's stupid. Tactically, morally, emotionally, intellectually, it's a bunch of vapid bullshit. Who thinks that's a good idea? Trump ruins thumbs up. Well, only if you do it like this. Like, whoop, like you're actually inserting it. And even that, like, I don't know that there's a bunch of people going, hey, man, like that much anymore. You know what I mean? It's kind of an aged out thing anyways, more than, hey, By the way, Henry Winkler is too good a man to let the Fonz gesture be co-opted by assholes. I'm sorry, I won't let it happen. As a matter of fact, I'm bringing back thumbs up. But I'm just not going to do this weird, up the butt thing that Trump does when he looks at, hey, you, up there, hey, whoop. Like he does this when he's at the rallies. When he's like, hey, turn around. Like, it's so stupid. Brookside. Police in this tiny Alabama town using unmarked police cars and air horns and taking the town with Everglades collected 487 fines, fine for which is 2020. I hope you guys really read into this. I've been working on it for a while. It really shows what... Hold on. Where's this? I gotta move this over here. Police in this tiny Alabama town suck drivers into a legal black hole using unmarked police cars and uniforms without insignias. The town with no traffic lights collects $487 in fines and forfeitures in 2020 for every man, woman, child. It really shows in sort of shocking microscopic way what inevitably happens when you incentivize criminalization of people for profit. No, it doesn't. It's a shitty little Alabama town with a speed trap in it. How the fuck is that the rest of the country's problem? Who hasn't driven through a town like that? Jesus Christ. Like in Chicago, Northfield, if you drove through Northfield and your car looked terrible, you know, they would just pull you over. You just knew about it. Like this, like, what are you talking about? Like, you think speed trap towns in the South are a new thing? Jesus. It very well may be, Barbie. Yeah. Drove through one in Vermont. Yeah, there's one in New Jersey that everybody talks. You ever watch Nothing But Trouble? The Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, Digital Underground, John Candy movie? That's right. Tupac Shakur is in that movie. All around the world, same song. All around the world. They do that song live in it. It's all about a place called Vulcanvania, and that's all they do is they just trap speeders, and then throw the book at them, and then seize their car and that kind of shit. You do not mess around with Jim. It's true. You haven't seen that movie in years, Shell Bell? It's worth it. It is crazy, CSL. It is an insane movie. I mean, it's like Aykroyd just decided to make a character piece. And then Bobo and Little Devil, the weird characters that live out in the junkyard, we're not allowed in the house. Like, holy shit. I love that movie because it's so fucking weird. My buddy Rob and I used to watch that all the time. Rob Fiedler. Yeah, and Taylor Negron is in it. Yeah. He's terrific in it. You know what Taylor Negron is great in, besides everything? Bless his heart, and we miss you, Taylor. Last Boy Scout. He's the henchman, the main henchman in The Last Boy Scout, which is a Shane Black movie with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans. And he's just like... He's really good in it as the heavy. Yeah. Dan Aykroyd's spin on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's right, Chris. Mr. Milo. That's right. By the way, have you guys seen The Nice Guys? Hold on. Oh, God. Every time I try to open a web page on this thing, it's going to be so slow. With Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. Let me see if I can find the poster for it. It's this one. What is this thing? Hold on. this movie. There's so much great comedy in this, and the performances. This is the most life I've ever seen out of Ryan Gosling. Yeah, it's set in like 79, 80. Like Russell Crowe beats up people for money, and Ryan Gosling's a private eye. And his daughter in this scene, the daughter comes over and goes, "Wait, you beat up people for money?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "How much you charge to beat up my friend Janet?" And he goes, "How much you got? Why? What's wrong with her?" And she goes, "She's super annoying" or whatever. And Gosling just goes, "This conversation is over." Like, it's this weird little subtle read when Russell Crowe breaks Ryan Gosling's arm on person, like when you talk to your doctor, tell him you have a spiral fracture of the upper tibia. He goes, "What?" A deep breath. No. Wah! Like he just cracks his arm. It's so fucking good. I love that movie. And then the end, it's like he goes, "I see you're drinking." He goes, "Yeah, I feel great." It's just this weird read on stuff. And this twisted plot about the catalytic converter and big oil and the auto industry colluding to not have more efficient cars as the private. Yeah, this is the shot where right here. This one. Oh, it's so fucking good. It's just so good. Can you mention Vibes by Cindy? Oh, yeah. Vibes with Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum and Peter Falk, who is fucking genius in that. Yeah. Did I say Harry Jr.? I meant Harry Sr. He's my father. No, this is someone much younger than you. One of my high school buddies. My mother saw him after my father died, and wham! Yeah, I believe it. I'm going home. Here, take the money. Thank you. Yeah, chew it up real nice. Say, everybody, bye-bye to the mayor. It's so good. Vibes is lovely. But this, I love this movie. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, and this is Shane Black, who wrote Lethal Weapon, who wrote The Last Boy Scout, who's in Predator. He's an actor in Predator, the original one. This conversation is over. That scene in the bathroom right here. Oh, God, this is so good. Just the little physical comedy that he does with the bathroom stall door. I'm telling you. I adore this movie. Is Nice Guys streaming? Yeah. Hold on. Let's find out. Hold on. Where are we? Streaming. Is it on? No, I got it on pictures. Hold on. All. It's on Hulu with premium. And everywhere else you have to rent it. So it's on Hulu. If you subscribe. But swear to God, it's a buy. I bought this movie as soon as it came out. I watch it again and again and again. It's one of those movies. It's just, yeah. It's one of the, there's so much in it. There's so much subtlety to a lot of the performances that you can watch it several times. So good. Sam Rockwell was great in Green Mile. Sam Rockwell's terrific. My favorite thing of him is Moon, and then Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Mm-hmm. The rest of the stuff, he's so good, but they don't know how to use him. Oh, and Galaxy Quest. I don't even have a last name. Sure you do. Do I? When he's the red shirt. Yeah, he's terrific. His name is Guy, which is just... that's one of the best jokes in Galaxy Quest, is the expendable crew member guy is named Guy in real life. So he doesn't even have... he's great in like Iron Man 2, but a complete fucking waste. You know what I mean? The character's a dick. You know, it's not canon. It doesn't become anything later. It's not something that transforms into something. You know, he would have made a great Ant-Man even. Rockwell deserves... Marvel, get on that. I know he was great in that character, but you've jumped people over. Make him another character. At least let him voice something. He was amazing in 3 Billboards, yeah. Rockwell's one of those guys who gets a lot of respect without getting any respect, if you know what I mean. Like, he gets glass ceiling respect from Hollywood. I love him. Like, you can hear, like, agents, I love him. Love that guy. Not for this, though. He can't, there's no... Yeah, he was great as Zaphod Beeblebrox. The second neck inside thing was a weird way to go. It should have been a split head. He could have done more with it. But it was cheaper to have his head hidden half the time. John Turturro, excellent box of Moonlight. Excellent movie. Great story, acting, good message, very funny, Blackish type comedy. Yeah, but that's the problem. That's the glass ceiling part. Yeah, Justin Hammer, but he's going to be showing up in the Disney Plus show Armor Wars. Yeah, very possibly, but not as anything other than Justin Hammer. Not as an actual, you know, as a superhero or even a villain. He's just kind of a perfunctory asshole in the storyline. He's an actor's actor. Yeah, which is, you know, it really, like, it's like Brian James, you know what I mean? At that point, where you end up, you guys all know Brian James. He was in Blade Runner and a bunch of other movies. He's one of those guys where he just never stopped working and was terrific in everything, but the idea is that he's not gonna ultimately go from anything into anything. You know, like he's just a guy that you like can count on. He's rock solid. And in a lot of ways, I mean, dude just, there was a period where dude just never stopped working. Damn, he died in 1999. He's 54. 6'3". Yeah. Anyways, just terrific. I remember the first line I think I remember him saying was in 48 Hours. Hey, Dick fucking Tracy. Look at that picture. Hey, Dick fucking Tracy. Yeah, Fifth Element, Tango and Cash. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, Blade Runner's my favorite movie, so, yeah. 1945. He died young. What the hell? What happened to Brian James? Died August 7th, UCLA suffered a heart attack at his home in Malibu. Yeesh. Who was the Indian in Predator? These are the other things that get coming out of Sonny Landham, who was Billy Bear in 48 Hours, and Billy Soul in Predator, was a stuntman. He ended up in 48 Hours, Walter Hill put him in that because he was in The Warriors as a stuntman. He's the cop who gets the nightstick thrown at his legs and falls over. Let's see. Yeah. Sonny Landham in The Warriors. There'll be like probably a little shot, like a picture. Yeah, there he is. He's a cop. There he is. And he chasing after one of the guys. He gets a nightstick thrown at his legs. That's the whole thing. He's got no lines. Yeah. Can you dig it? Yep. And there he is when he's killed by Reggie Hammond. Oh, and Eddie Murphy's in this scene in 48 Hours where he's like, Billy, you come up against me, you're going to lose. And he's holding a gun at him and his hand's shaking because it's such a nice piece because Eddie Murphy's character is more the brains and he can fist fight, but he's not going to shoot anybody. And the moment he's actually confronted with it, his hand is shivering. It's terrific. Eddie's just the beautiful work in that moment. And then this is Sonny Landham in Predator. Yeah. He was 76 when he passed. And of course there's Jesse. I ain't got time to bleed. So you cooked up the story and dropped the 6 of us into the meat grinder. It's not just style, Dylan. Well, maybe I picked up some bad habits from you. Oh, I'm way over. It's 20 minutes past 11. I will be back this afternoon a little late today. Just as a heads up, everybody, because of the if my photo shoot happens. That's the thing, too. It's just kind of in flux. I keep getting messages while the show's happening. I'm pretty sure it's happening at 1 o'clock. So fingers crossed. I got to go pack my shit up, get dressed, and go down there. I am dressed, but, I'd be better dressed. And then I will be back here to do the afternoon show. And then I've got 6 o'clock. We've got rehearsal with Nerd Halen, so it'll be a tighter show. And then I will be driving back to LA. And then the next 3 days, I'm just burning the candle at both ends and trying to light the middle. So forgive me if there's some fluctuation in the schedule. I'll do the best I can, and I will see you guys later on today. So let's see. And I don't have any off-play music, so I'll just see you later. Bye. Bye, guys.